coach, consultant, trainer in her own right, and just someone who I love and adore very, very deeply. So, Allison, do you want to come off mute and introduce yourself and say hi to the community?
Yes, of course. I'm so excited to be here. Um, yeah, my name is Allison Lacoursiere, and I have been an entrepreneur for about 5 years now. And I'm a professional speaker. I coach on leadership, business success, worthiness, and my journey. So interestingly, actually, very much started meeting Elyse in person in Bermuda. And she has just shaped a lot of my growth, my journey, my healing, and my success. Honestly, it has completely reframed the way that I operate as a human. And I think about this all the time. I'm like, where would I be without Elyse Archer today? I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm so grateful to you. So, the work that I do in my industry, I coach and lead a lot of women in the dental world. I speak to high performers. I talk about the neuroscience of leadership and success. And currently, I live in Calgary, Alberta, and have lived in the island of Bermuda for 14 years. So I'm definitely a little bit of a warm baby, but I'm here in the cold today in Calgary.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's always so fun just to think back like to the synchronicities and how we met and how we connected and who knew at that moment. I remember meeting you for lunch like so many years ago that we'd be here today. So, if you want to share just a little bit, I know there's been some fun recent developments that you had shared with the consultants, and I was like, oh, I want you to come on and share that. But even if we can take a step back to kind of your earlier journey and when you got involved in this community and this program and kind of what was happening in your life, what happened for you as a result, and then we can maybe speed up a little bit to more present day and some of the fun things that are happening for you right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny when I was thinking about my personal journey with Elise. I was like, Elise, which part of this should I share? Because there's so many. But from the beginning, I mean, I've always been somebody who has thought I'm gonna do big things. I'm gonna have an impactful life. I've always thought that. And what I didn't know is that I could do that without the consequences of my personal life. I thought that so much of my entrepreneurship was you need to hustle and grind and work hard. And that's the only way that you can achieve the things and the dreams that you have. Because I had big dreams, big goals. And I remember just learning and actually just watching Elyse because I feel it's so important, like as a coach, as an entrepreneur, to invest back into yourself and to spend time with those around you that have what you want and have achieved the things that you want in your life. Like success leaves clues. And so when I saw Elyse talking about flow and feminine energy and being able to work less, I was like, what is this? I want it because I'm an entrepreneur who financially became very successful very quickly, but it was at the cost of a lot of my personal time in life. And I just recognized that, thinking from the end in mind, I want a family, I want time freedom, I want to spend time doing the things that I love. I need to learn this now so that I can change the trajectory of my business success because I had essentially created a very, very profitable business that was a trap for me. And, we have these money goals, and I love money and I love making money and I love earning money. But when you're making a lot of money and you don't have time and you don't have the connection to the things that you really want to do, like it really doesn't feel that good. And so working with Elyse, I made the decision. I just knew I needed to work with her on a deeper level. And so I made the choice to work with her privately. And I was very afraid of the financial investment. Like, I was like, I don't know about this. I didn't want to talk to anybody about it because I knew kind of similarly, like they weren't in my shoes. They didn't live my life. They wouldn't give me the advice that I felt would be worthwhile to me. So I kept it very much to myself. And I made the decision to work with Elyse privately. And I'm not like I this sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke. It's actually what happened. 3 days later, I negotiated a contract and made the entire investment back. And the only way, truly the only way I could have done that was by working with her. We had a private intensive that weekend. And the result of that private intensive was that I elevated myself so strongly into my self-worth, my level of leadership, thinking from the end in mind, and recognizing that the contract and the work that I was doing with this company, I was being wholeheartedly underpaid. And so I went back in this whole spirit of energy and communication strategies that Elyse helped me with, and they agreed to pay me six figures more than I was already earning. And it was like one of those like moments in my career that I was so proud of. And, it just continued from there. And so working with Elyse privately, Kelsey said this yesterday so beautifully. Like, yes, I was able to hit my financial goals and my company grew, but truly, most importantly to me, I feel like I got to connect back to myself, like who I truly am as a person, as a woman. And when we look at the longevity of success, the more aligned you are to who you are, that's how we create long-term success. And I was so far away from that person, that the amount of healing that it took in that year, the amount of self like work and just getting to know my inner self and holding space for her was just like it brought my life back, really. And so from there, it allowed me to really like think about the impact that I want to make in the world and in the industry, and then take my energy and channel it towards that. And so in that, in my career, I've been able to just like get on stages really quickly and, bring in lots of clients, lots of abundance. And it's been very fantastic. But the most important thing about it is it's in alignment with who I believe I am and my bigger purpose in life. And I think that's how we create the best success.
It has been such a joy watching you ascend. And I remember that intensive so well. We had so much fun. And then when you told me the money came right after, it's how it works. It's exactly what we were talking about with Kat earlier about decision making from the end, right? And this is how we get to learn to think and to operate when we're ascending is saying, going back to who you connected with yesterday when you were tuning into what is that perfect self expression and what does she or he do, right? And so you did that and you took action as that person. And it's just been so beautiful. And I know you're doing so many things in your life too to support other women and building up some really cool things in the nonprofit space as well. Maybe for the sake of time, because I feel like I would like spend the whole hour asking you about all the things because it's so good. You had shared something kind of fun recently that you created in our consultant chat. So if you just want to share your recent win too, I thought that was just really fun.
Yes, absolutely. So I've been working with Elyse. I did the 50K club. I have done private coaching. I've been in the 10K as well. And that's been like a theme for me for my last like 5 years of entrepreneurship. And then last year, for whatever reason, I was just like, I think I'm good now. Like I think my energy's good. Like I'm in this good space. And so I went probably like 7 months without being in any program. And I was like feeling just so, I don't know. I was like, I need this energy again. So when Elyse announced that she was going to have bring a team together for the consultancy, I honestly felt like I manifested that, by the way, Elyse, because I was just like dreaming of ways we could work together for the last like
Probably
4 years.
did.
But when I got back into all these practices, like none of them were like specifically new to me, but I was hearing them in different ways. And I just made this commitment to myself. Like, as we're diving back into this content, as I'm learning how to teach it in different ways, I'm going to go all in within that in my energy. I'm going to go all in on everything I'm learning. I'm going to show up as the woman that is. I'm going to like do all the things that I'm learning and just live into being that excellent student. And within 3 weeks, I closed 100K in new contracts for my business. And it was easy and it was fun and it was aligned. And it was just like, oh, yeah, this is the work. This is the work that we're doing. And I just continue to like dream bigger, which is what now I'm recognizing our biggest limitation is that we just aren't dreaming big enough in the sense of what is possible for us. And so now I keep dreaming bigger and imagining who is the woman who can double her income and half her time in her business? Who is the woman who can double her income and spend more time in joy and horseback riding and doing all the things that I love to do? And it gets to be fun because I know now that the real work is me becoming that woman. And it
Yeah.
will automatically show up because I'm becoming that woman. And it gets to be like aligned and beautiful and fun. And it does not have to be this painful slugfest of exhaustion. If that's what it is, it's not aligned. And this work will get you aligned so that you can have, do, be the things that you want and the things that you desire in your life.
Gosh. I just love you. I love you. And something else that I think is important that you shared, and then Kat, I'll turn it back over to you, is we can come back to the same material, but you're at a different level of consciousness. And so we, even in 10K, we made a decision a while back to give lifetime access to that content when you've been through it, when you've invested in the program. So you can come back to it again and again, and you'll get something new and different out of it every single time because you've ascended. You're at a different level. And so I love you. We love you. You're amazing. Thank you for sharing your story and just for being in my life and being in our lives. And you're just a beautiful